Reach out and scare someone. Ricky Beamer is furious when he gets kicked off the school paper. So he decides to play a joke on Tasha, the bossy editor-in-chief. Just a little joke. Harmless, really. After one day, he sticks a message in the paper. If you're a creep, call Tasha after midnight, it reads. But somehow Ricky's message gets messed up, and now he's getting the calls. Strange calls from kids who say they're creeps. Creeps with scaly purple skin and long, sharp fangs.
Hello and welcome back to Goosebumps Overviews, the show where we talk about Goosebump books and judge them on their merit. Tonight's episode is book number 50, Calling All Creeps. Finally, we've got ourselves another winner. If you're a conspiracy theorist and you really believe that lizard people are within the government, this is the book for you. The cover is really good. I love the design of the creeps and this conspicuous position they're in. Kind of makes me think of a lone dark street with these monsters on it. It's pretty cool, and I like the background. It kind of gives me that 90s retro vibe. But my one issue with it is that the cover kind of spoils the ending for this book, and a lot of the hidden plot points that are contained with this book are... Yeah, the cover's just kind of a huge spoiler for this. But at the very least, we get to see the design of the creeps, and I approve 100%. I think those things are freaking awesome looking. Unlike the monster from How to Kill a Monster, these do look menacing, cool, and, most importantly, creepy. Considering they are called creeps, I would hope that they were. Meet Ricky Beamer. This character is a lot different than a lot of the Goosebump characters because he's the victim of severe bullying. Throughout his entire school career, he's been bullied, picked on, called names, pushed around. He's just the school's punching bag. Just think of a male version of Meg and put him in an elementary school, and you got Ricky Beamer. Some of the names they call him include Ricky Rat and Sicky Ricky. Now, those are some stupid-ass names. They put no thought into that. That is just kind of lame, man. If that's the best they got to throw at you, I think you're good. I mean, hell, I'd be fine with being called that with some of the things I was called. There are worse things to be called. That's not bad. Stop being such a pussy, Ricky. And thankfully, Ricky takes my advice. So one day after getting pushed around a little too much, being kicked off the school newspaper unfairly, he decides to get back at the school newspaper editor, Tasha. Now, Tasha is kind of a judgmental bitch, so I feel that Ricky's in the right here, trying to get back at her. However, things backfire a bit. See, Ricky breaks into the school and hacks the newspaper and changes one of the messages to say, if you're a creep, call Tasha at insert Tasha's number right here. And, okay. It's not an amazing prank, but it's okay. At least she put some effort into it. At least she actually did something. I'm so tired of these books that involve kids getting bullied and they just act like they're helpless to do anything about it. Because if you really... No, nobody is helpless to defend themselves from bullying. If you just take it, then you probably just deserve it. I'm sorry. Unless you have some sort of disability and you have no choice. But enough about my rant on bullying, no one cares. Today's society is just too wimpy. But as I was saying, the prank backfires, and Ricky starts getting the calls that Tasha was supposed to get. People calling at midnight. People who say they are creeps. And that's where the story begins. It begins with these odd pranks that continue into a stage-wide conspiracy, and Ricky finds himself trapped in this monstrous conspiracy to take over the world, or the school. I kind of like this book. It starts off a bit slow, and it's got some good creepy points in the middle, the beginning, and at the ending, I love the ending. I love how everything turns out. This is probably one of the best Goosebump endings in my book. A lot of people might say that it's a bit lazy and rushed, but I think this is exactly what that type of character would do. In fact, I think a lot of kids would probably do what Ricky does for this ending. I probably would too, if I was Ricky. I like the monsters. I like the ending. And the middle and the end are just great. The beginning is a bit slow, however, but it's kind of necessary to understand the world that Ricky is in. I do have a problem with some of the bullying that Ricky faces, because some of it seems a bit too unrealistic, because the only person that's friends with him is this one new girl. She's just friends with him for seemingly no reason. But everyone picks on Ricky, and even the teachers, and that just doesn't really make much sense. If the teachers are bullying the kid, then you got a lawsuit right there. You can totally solve a lot of problems with just that. But Ricky chooses to say nothing and do nothing. It's a bit irritating. At least for those segments. And Ricky, there's a few points where Ricky tries to convince other people about the situation he's in, and stupidly believes that anyone would believe him, and of course, nobody believes him. These are stupid moments that permeate a lot of Goosebump books, and this one is no exception, because this happens quite a few times, and it's really stupid, and I don't think anyone would believe that. Hell, I was surprised that Iris got roped into this shit. Alright, spoilers, you ready? Well, it turns out the four bullies that bully Ricky turn out to be creeps, these giant lizard people, and they think Ricky is their commander, so they bully him into trying. Well, bully. It's more of peer pressure in this sense, because since they believe Ricky is their commander, so they kind of try and peer pressure him into turning everyone else in the school into creeps. And these creeps are kind of stupid. The fact that they believe that Ricky is their commander, with no proof, seems kind of dumb. Honestly, these guys are really gullible. Even at the ending, somehow they still believe that Ricky is their commander, when Ricky blatantly tries to stop kids from eating these identity seeds that'll turn kids into creeps. I don't understand how they still believe Ricky is the Lizard King, or whatever. And like I said, the ending is pretty convincing and good, to me anyway. It's kind of a bad ending, since like I said, Ricky lets the antagonist win. He lets all the kids eat the identity seeds and become creeps, and Ricky eats one himself and becomes King Creep. Really, I think a lot of kids would probably do that. However, the ending still, I kind of want to know what happens. Honestly, this book should get like a sequel too. I want to see Ricky's rise to power as he takes over the world as a creep. And that would be kind of interesting. Ricky is also in the movie, but, the Goosebumps movie, but you're not going to know that unless you look really closely. You can kind of see him. And the creep makeup for that movie is bad, but he was just a background character anyway. I'm gonna have to give this book an 8 out of 10, and that's mainly because I think some of the bullying is unrealistic, and the beginning is just a tad bit slow, with him kind of giving a lot of exposition. Ricky, anyway, gives us exposition on Tasha and the bullies and all the shit he's gone through, and that part is just a little slow. But hey, what can you do with a book this size? For the sum of its parts, I think it's one of the better Goosebumps books, justifying my score. But hey, I know a lot of people have different reasons. A lot of people don't really like the ending, like I said, but to me, it's still one of the best. That has been my review on Calling All Creeps. Make sure to stay tuned for next episode, where we talk about